Greetings, everyone. We are pleased to be introducing the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health, often called NIGH, and our newest project, the Nurses' Voices Grassroots to Global campaign, advancing NIGH's three interrelated mandates: engage nurses' voices, promote global health, and encourage self-care. We began with the Nightingale Declaration for a Healthy World, starting with the first commitment. We, the nurses and concerned citizens of the global community, hereby dedicate ourselves to achieve a healthy world. This declaration is now available in 12 languages in collaboration with friends across the world. If you would like to put some names to these faces, see www.nivision.net/our-team.html. Now, this includes our latest language version, Tagalog Filipino, and our collaboration with our good friend, our Tagalog Filipino advisor, Dr. Tess Panizales. Since 2006, our NIGH teams have reflected the voices of nurses and student nurses, midwives, teachers and interdisciplinary groups and concerned citizens. Our strategies have included advocacy campaign to reach UN global goals, online global outreach, stories, and our multimedia, interactions with the United Nations and World Health Organization in Geneva and New York City, keynote addresses, workshops, and related conference briefings, virtual and on-site meetings convened in 35 countries, and 38 peer-reviewed journal articles and textbook chapters. In 2018, and for our work, NIGH was granted our United Nations ECOSOC Special Consultative status. You can see here our representatives working at the United Nations in New York. FYI, UN ECOSOC means UN United Nations Economic and Social Council, and this consultative status is a very high status for NGOs collaborating with the UN. Now we can bring our collaborative voices to the United Nations settings, to UN representatives, and even including UN ambassadors in our respective nations. So we are launching Nurses' Voices Grassroots to Global campaign as of the summer of 2023. Now, how do we aim to achieve this? By telling our stories to the world, including advocacy for the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Now, where do we aim to reach and collaborate? In all 6 WHO regions: WHO PAHO, the Western Hemisphere, WHO Europe, WHO Africa, WHO EMRO, the Middle East, WHO CIRO, the Southeast Asian Organization, and WHO WIPRO, the Western Pacific region. How do we do this? By collaborating with nurses from all these regions, including students, student nurses, and retired nurses. First, we'd love to involve Philippine students, and then students, nurses, educators, retirees, and other stakeholders across each of the 6 World Health Organization regions. Now, all of this work is based on the theory of integral nursing developed by our NIGH colleague, Dr. Barbara Dossi, the international co-director of the Nightingale Initiative for Global Health. This model shows us 4 interactive ways in which we can successfully work as ourselves and with each other. Let's take some time with each of these quadrants. The first quadrant, the inner self. We ask our question, who am I? And we build our capacity for our sense of self, our inner world of meaning, our values, thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and our ability to share with others when we choose. The lower left quadrant is our relational self, who we are together, our capacity for relationships, collective intelligence, our ability to be understanding and evolved a diversity and various cultures. And through our conversations and dialogue, we mutually relate to each other. The upper right quadrant is our outer self, asking the question, what do I do? And this, of course, is related to our work as nurses in hospitals, clinics, our home care, our public health nursing, all aspects of nursing. It builds our capacity for actions and skill development, ability to have tangible, measurable parts of our bodies, our behaviors, our action, and our biology. The lower right quadrant asks the question, what do we do, what do we design and create together? And this, of course, is what we're doing, developing this Grassroots to Global Nurses' Voices campaign, building our capacity for collaborative partnerships and our ability to build group processes, systems, and structures, and map, explain, support, and guide and measure. This integral model Dr. Dasi shares with us is important to be keeping all of these quadrants in mind in every aspect of our lives, in our personal life and our professional life. And she shares with us that if we're not using one of these quadrants, if, for instance, we're not looking after our inner self, that's when our life starts to have difficulties. So she urges us to be thinking about all of these quadrants all of the time, to have a sustainable and successful life and professional life personally. And we'll have this integral model on our website for you to study and learn about as you wish. Now, why are we doing all of this? In 1893, Florence Nightingale wrote, "Health is not only to be well, but to use well every power we have." And of course, she had power in her time. She had networks and relationships with powerful people, and she was committed, and that was one of her powers. And she wrote letters across the world. She had the mail, but she didn't even have a telephone. Today, we have phone, we have Zoom, we have internet, we have our capacity to do social media, YouTube, all of those things. We have each other. We have our networks, our associations, our organizations, our universities, our student bodies. There are 29 million nurses worldwide. Those are just the active ones, not counting the retirees and students. We have the power to connect with each other, and now we have our ability to collaborate, to bring our voices to the United Nations and United Nations representatives, United Nations organizations, and even United Nations ambassadors in our own countries. Remembering, Nightingale said, "Health is not only to be well, but to use well every power we have." And we have so much today. Now, we welcome your ideas as we begin this campaign in the summer of 2023. And we respectfully ask that you be in touch with our initial campaign coordinators, Dr. Barbara Dasi, and her email at barbara@dasidasi.com, our NIGH advisor, Lynn Chase, at svmher@yahoo.com, Dr. Tess Panizales, tesspanizales@icloud.com, and myself, Dr. Diva Marie Beck, divamarie@earthlink.net. Thank you so much for your consideration of this video. We look forward to hearing from you. Goodbye for now.